Hey, Jared, what's your favorite snare drum?
Ooh, my favorite snare drum is my 14-inch Donette titanium.
Okay. Dave, your favorite snare drum?
My favorite is the 13-inch titanium Donette.
Tyson?
I have a 13-inch titanium Donette, and it's wonderful. But actually, as of late, it's Jared's 13 by 5-inch A&F brass drum.
Oh, that's a gorgeous one.
It's a really nice drum. I've been playing it for a few weeks. Yeah.
Barring the fact that they seem to choose the same friggin' drums, it just goes to show that we drummers love snare drums. Whether you have a wall full of them or maybe you only have one drum kit, you probably have looked at getting another snare drum. Some drummers have 2 or 3 snare drums. Some people have gone wacky and made a whole drum set with snare drums. But that idea just wasn't dumb enough. Today on the drum department, we decided we're going to take an entire drum kit, a proper, beautiful drum kit, and modify it so it is all snare drums. That's what we're going to do today on the drum department, which starts right now!
Love
Yes.
Before we start, I want to point out that we are now in control of the splash screens.
What?
Yeah, so we'll see how that
So
goes.
you just did that?
No, that's the one exception. Thanks for pointing that out, Jared. The rest, though, I'm responsible for.
So you're not fully in control of the splash screens.
Much like life, everything in control is an illusion. Right?
Oh, God.
So this episode is one we've had worked on for a long time, and it all came out of the idea of what if, right?
Yes.
What if we had a drum set made out of snare drums, or we modified a drum kit to be snare drums? They make the parts for it, so why don't we give it a shot? But it really comes from the whole idea of drummers modifying stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I've modified a couple of things that I own. I've, taken broken cymbals and done stuff with them. Snare drum, I've got one that I've kind of attached things to make weird sounds like springs and stuff. Because it's fun to have that different option when you're playing. You guys ever modified anything like drum kits?
I was thinking of it because I figured you were going to ask that,
Oh, well, there you go.
and the answer is no.
Wow.
No modification.
How long did it take you to? How long did it take you to think about it if you haven't done it?
Well, I was thinking about in that 20-some years
Oh,
of
okay.
playing, I surely have done that, but I cannot think back to a moment
Jared,
when it happened.
Not a tinkerer. Not a tinkerer.
Dave's a tinkerer.
The most I've modded was like rigging up different stands and mounts to hold like 3 splashes on a single mount. But it's not like I'm modifying. I'm just using a Gibraltar this and trying to find. Yeah, that's basically all I've done. Trying to think if they've done anything else.
I once painted my front bass drum head. Does that count?
Sort of. I mean, that's like an arts and crafts thing, I suppose. It doesn't really change the sound, just a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
I had to use many coats.
Yeah.
I
For
just
sure.
don't
What was on it? Hang on. What was on it?
The person I bought it from, they had a band called Shattered Glass. So
Okay.
it was this logoed head. And I had to paint over that with white. And then I wanted black lettering that said Bones.
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 Oh,
So good.
Were you
that's kind of a.
So good. That was like last week, man.
Tyson, now you've been tasked to do all kinds of weird things here.
Quite a few.
This is up there with the weird things. Tyson is the one that actually.
One of the weirdest. I did do this.
Well, here's the thing.
I
When you
mean,
look at,
unless you hate it, then Jared did it.
Well, I don't do that. We've
Oh, right,
clearly
Jared does
established that.
Yeah, Jared had nothing to do with it.
It was this guy. Sorry, it was me.
when you look at a snare, you realize it's just like a tom. All right, except there's a little bearing edge on the bottom, or not bearing edge, snare bed on the bottom.
Snare bed, yeah.
And then your reso head is quite a bit thinner. It's usually like a hazy, super thin hair. But other than that, it's just a drum. So like, why haven't we tried to why has people put snares on it?
And it has been a thing coming forward. That's kind of where we kind of got to this, because I think the thing that got us to this place was A&F has made 20-inch snare drums for a few customers, and they sound exactly like you think they might.
Yeah.
And of course, Yamaha's
Hip gig
kit has a SNOM floor tom option.
Right.
And the new Daru Jones kit has all snare throw-offs on all the drums, except the bass drum.
So, sorry, what hip gig kit from Yamaha has a SNOM option?
the-
The new
uh,
stage custom hip with the flat bass drum.
Oh, like the new
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, the new one with the narrow
yeah.
bass
Yeah,
drum. The 13-inch floor tom has wires on it.
But when you say hip gig, I just think back to the old Al Foster. and
that's just what they're
Rick
calling
Ryan.
They're calling it the
they're calling-
stage custom hip, I think,
Yeah,
officially.
stage
Oh, okay.
custom hip.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen that.
But yeah, we're seeing more and more of that. Of course, you've got Larnell Lewis and Sput and so many
Yeah,
drummers who put
Tama's
that.
SLP line. They make a few kits
Yeah.
and they've got a SNOM in that line, and
So we're gonna hear this kid soon. But
Yeah, I know. I'm dying to hear it.
I know. I gotta say, I've never heard it yet. Jared, have you heard it yet?
I've heard someone tap it once, but I've never sat down and played it.
I haven't heard it. Kyle, you've heard it, right?
Not really.
Only a little.
I purposely left myself out of the
I'm
equation.
really the
I've
only
been sort
one
of
that's
avoiding
kind of
it.
hit it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So you put throw-offs on everything.
Yeah. So let's just quickly go over this before. We actually have a video of Tyson building this.
Oh, nice.
Which is what we're going to watch in a second. But yeah, so just to quickly go through this, yes, there's snare wires on all the drums. There are the finest, inexpensive throw-offs I could find on Amazon
Okay.
to make all the drums. So all the drums have throw-offs. The snare drum in this video is doesn't matter.
It's a snare drum.
It's a snare drum.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're focusing on these drums. So
We
the
should have
bass
made
drum.
it a tom. We converted
I thought about that. We converted it into look. I converted it into a tom.
We modified, obviously, I had to put snare beds into the drums. We
Yes.
have snare side heads on the toms. We have the closest thing we could get to a snare side on the bass drum.
Yep.
I have to thank two entities, though, for the creation of this drum set. Number one, thank you to Evans, who was
Yeah.
kind enough to find and help us get weird wires
Yeah.
for this drum set and some bottom heads, 16-inch snare side head. Don't find a lot of those out there. So thank you to Evans. And I have to thank Aaron Edgar, who's on our team here, who's wacky enough to own a set of wires for a 20-inch bass drum.
Right.
You know, it's
an
funny-
extra set.
Yeah.
That's true.
I was
A spare
casually
set,
talking
yeah.
to him. I'm like, yeah, we need to find like 20-inch snare wires for this stupid project we've got that we're gonna. Yeah, because that's so ridiculous. Who makes a bass drum snare drum? And he's just like, dude, I got a couple extra. So he sent us them. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you're like, a couple extra.
yeah. So thank you.
Well, how
Aaron.
many 20 wires do you have?
I think he has the ANF 20-inch snare though. I
think he does.
I think that's why he's got an extra set. 'cause
Yeah,
he's got that
exactly.
snare. So
All right, so without further ado, see now I was going to do that, but I can't because
it's
I'm jinxed with this stuff.
Is it not working?
I tell you.
Maybe it's because you dropped it right before we started.
Yes, Chris just asking if I turned it off and on again. I have tried that.
so
I'm
what-
giving it one more chance.
Doesn't like to deal with fire.
That's right. Exactly. All right, so screw it. Not doing it.
All right.
We're going to watch an awesome video of Tyson here building this drum set, and then when we come back, Jarrett's going to play it for us.
Nice.
Check it out.
So this is a snare drum, and as we know, snare drums are different from tom-toms and bass drums as they have wires on the bottom and a particularly thin head. But some people don't realize that the direction that the snares are laying, we have what's called the snare bed. You might be able to see that on the camera there, that we have a dip in the bearing edge. So I need to put a snare bed on this tom-tom and the other two tom-toms for this kit and on the bass drum. Also notice where the wires lay, there's a gate where the strings or the strap will pass through. I need to cut that into the hoops as well. So I've got a little bit of work to do on all of these drums, but I'm excited to get to work on it. Now we're just gonna hack into, with the hacksaw, straight down into this hoop. Remember to start a little slow and make sure you get a good groove going before you start pulling really hard. This is just a multi-bit rotary tool, and that's a diamond cutting wheel. I'm not gonna use this to cut right through the hoop, but I'm just gonna score it at the bottom so I can snap it off with my pliers. That little groove cut into it. Should be able to grab my plier. We'll use the same multi-tool, change out the bit on it. And this is just a little tooth grinder. That'll just clean up the edge a little bit so it's not sharp and we don't cut into the head. Good to go. That's 3 drums. Okay. Time for the bass drum. That one's a little trickier. So now that we've cut the gates or the windows into the bottom hoops for all of these tom-toms, we need to put a snare bed in the bottom edge. So I'm actually just gonna use the hoop itself to mark. It's on its pins there. I just wanna be a little bit wider than the actual gates there. And I'm not like using a measuring tape, I'm just kind of eyeballing it, but I just wanna be a little wider than the gates, and I'll do it on both sides. And again, I'm just using the rotary multi-tool with a little cutting blade on it. So this is the last drum. We got to cut the snare beds into the bass drum. I am making this one a little bit wider. I went 2 inches on those ones, and I'm going 3 inches wide on all of these ones. So let's hope my tool holds up this time. I'm pretty happy with that one. It took me all of them to get used to it, but it looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Okay. We need to drill out this drum and put the butt plate on here for the bottom. There's where our snare bed is in the bottom of the drum. So I've marked this already. Just full gorilla style, I'm literally just gonna throw the drill into it. So our good friends at Evans have sent us some snare side heads over. I just wanted to explain real quick. This is the resonant head from the bottom of the tom-tom. This is an Evans G14. And you feel like you can push it and move it, but it's got a little bit of tone to it still, even just outside. This is an Evans Hazy 300. You can see that just from the beginning. Very, very thin. We have a 12-inch snom. Got to put some wires on it still, but see how she works out. So we talked about the snare side head, the very thin heads for the bottom of snare drums. Now, they make snare drums in 10s and 12s and even 16s. What they don't make is one for a 20-inch drum. So what I have is a white logo head, but the problem is it's thin. It's not quite as thin as those, but the problem is the ring in the back. So now I need to remove the ring from this without cutting through the top head. So a little tricky, but we'll figure it out. well, that was a thing. We've taken this great set of PDP drums that, you know, at this point owed us nothing. We've shot the Rain in Blood 25th anniversary shoot with Ash Pearson and kind of got it messy. It wasn't in the best of condition, so to use it as an experiment, I think was pretty cool. I think at this point it's time to take it back to the studio and see what it sounds like.
Yeah, we'll send you over there. Oh. Too late now, Jared.
Hey, we're back. What a good video. I'm impressed, you guys. It's like you've done drum videos before.
I really haven't done a whole lot, so it was great. It was a lot of fun. I hope to do some more.
There were some interesting comments that you'd expect. Anytime you're bringing a hacksaw, a drill, a Dremel tool, a rotary tool to a drum set, people are like, they're clutching their pearls, going, hey, whoa, whoa.
I felt like that all day long. You can ask Jesus. I was like, are we gonna?
The most common comment was, why didn't you guys just go ahead and get some snare side bottom hoops? You don't have to deface these hoops. Well, number one, that's not as fun. Number two,
We didn't think about it.
we kind of did. The 16 is hard to get.
Yeah.
They don't make 20s.
Yeah.
You have to make them like that anyways. And truthfully, there's not enough tension on the bottom of a tom for that really to be a problem. These will still work just fine if you took the snare wires off and the throw-offs weren't functioning.
Plus, then if you did that, then what are we going to do with all these hoops? So we wanted to use this whole kit.
Yeah.
Totally.
As it was. So
We're modifying the kit
yeah.
just for that.
Yeah, this is what do you call it?
It's a snrum set.
Yeah, but it's
Drum set.
it's field to table with the drum set.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We've gone field to table with this.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe not wasted it.
Not wasting anything.
No.
Okay, we're going to play it?
Yeah, we've been teasing them for
Okay.
so long. I want to hear this
Before
as
you
well.
play it, I'm going to explain a couple more things because it's important. So tuning-wise, as this currently sits, this is tuned as a drum set would be tuned. So the toms have a nice, low, fat, punchy tone.
Okay.
So we're setting it up that way first. And I'm going to get Jared.
Well, we can play without the snares first, right?
Sure, yeah.
I currently have them all turned off.
All turn off.
I got in there.
Is there a bass drum throw? There is.
Yeah, it's off. Yeah, it'll be a little rattly because they
Okay.
hang this
Yeah,
way
yeah,
and
yeah.
against the drum a bit. But right now it just sounds like fat tom toms.
Okay, shall we hear?
Yeah. Right.
Standard kit.
Actually sounds
be
pretty
bad.
good.
Should we snarify?
Jared
it?
looks a little.
Snarify it.
Just to hear how it's going to say.
He's giggling.
Yeah, he's a little giddy
I
about
mean,
it.
it's like a new toy.
Yeah, it is.
Jared, you got the 4-tom one?
It
It's
is.
a little farther over there if
Okay,
you can reach it.
can we hear each drum individually so we get
Yeah.
the glory of each?
Okay,
Is
floor
the rack tom the top rack tom snared?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, 12.
Very.
Wow, it really muted it. The tone, like
Yeah.
way more than I thought it would.
Right. Remember, like on a snare drum, we generally tighten that bottom head quite high. I've got everything slack tuned like tom toms right now, so we'll go over it and we'll
Even the bottoms?
even the bottoms. Yeah.
Ah.
That sounds great.
I actually quite like the 10.
My least favorite snare drum on this drum set
Is the
is
actual
the snare
snare
drum.
drum. The bass drum. Just play the bass drum solo here.
Is it on for sure?
It is on.
It
Oh,
is.
it's on.
Is it on?
It's,
We got tension in those wires. Let's put a
yeah,
little
it'll
more
tighten it up a little bit.
It's tricky, and I will say, for those of you curious as to why we have a set of those are Grover snare wires. They're actually cable snares, so they don't have those little spirals in them. So they're going to be dry to begin with.
Right.
So it's already going to have a bit of a drier tone to it. Now we did experiment with this drum too. You did choose to put a blanket inside.
I did. It was so boomy and rattly when it was wide open that no matter what drum you hit, that drum was just kind of all over the world. So
It sounds pretty cool.
play
though.
some more. Play
So,
some more.
so can we play some music?
Yeah. So what I'd love to hear, we're gonna cue up the song for you. try it with like, just change the backbeats on the different snares and
Yeah.
see what the character does.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So this is just a generic fun track that we use here on Drumeo. So when you're ready, Chris,
All right.
we'll take that for a spin. Hopefully Jared can hear it. You got that?
I got it. Yeah. That's fun.
That's
Yeah,
fun. That's kind of fun.
awesome.
I could really like get into experimenting with that and then learning the kit.
Yeah.
You know, like I would probably turn off this one just so that I have, and I still have my 3 other sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but I have that kind of one
Open
something
tone,
different.
something open, not so short, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's an interesting comment, actually came in from Aaron Edgar.
Okay, what did he say?
He says, okay, guys, that's how it sounds under the microphones, which is great. How does it sound in the room? So when you're playing, I took my in-ears out just to hear what the kit sounds like by itself without all the fancy processing. And Chris, I'm going to ask you in a sec how crazy we've gone here, if at all. But, oh, yeah, we could try that in a sec. Yeah, I love that. It does sound like a bunch of snare drums all kind of making noise.
Yeah, yeah.
It certainly sounds cleaner through the microphones, no question.
Well, is there gates on this stuff?
I don't think so.
So they're not hearing all the rattling? No. So they're getting the full overhead picture of like the snares
All
kind
right,
of
can you just
buzzing.
Yeah.
let's hear the room mics
Yeah.
just to give everyone a fair shake what this actually does sound like.
Yeah.
Sounds like snares.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
bunch of
The
snare
only
drums.
drum I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get something more from is the bass
It's
drum.
that kick drum, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what you can expect.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge. Like you're putting snares on a 20-inch.
Wide open. It
Wide
sounded very snarey,
Yeah.
but it creates, you know how you get sympathetic snare buzz? Students are always asking about that. When you hit a tom and you get that that thing was just firing on all cylinders.
all over the
because
place,
of the
yeah.
toms being tuned how they were tuned. So it was a tough balance.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a little bit there. Chris, can you give us just the bass drum? Just play the bass drum for a little bit. You got 2 on it, right? Or just 1? Just the kick drum itself, if you can. Yeah. Just to see what that sounds on its own. See if you can actually hear those wires.
Seriously? Too much tension into it. There you go.
Very cool though.
Okay.
Okay.
The 16 is my favorite.
I think the opposite for me. The 10 for me. The
I'm
little
cool
guy.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us some like
So this-
rolls and some runs and some comp. Sounds great, and some people are saying it's got a lo-fi sound to it.
Totally.
Yeah,
When you go to, like, the low tom.
especially this one.
Yeah.
You want to try it?
Yeah. Let me sit down on this thing.
I mean, what would you do if you were in a drum department
Oh,
and you had
totally.
this? We would all take turns playing
We
it.
would
and
all-
then
True.
Doing the stupid chops that
It is
we all
so
know.
true.
Can I get in there and start tensioning it?
Yeah, I
taking
want to
it,
see.
start
can
to
we,
take
can we
it
start
up.
playing the tuning too?
You play, Dave, and I'm gonna start tuning it up a little, like taking the
Before
tension
you do
higher.
that, though, Tyson.
Yeah, bud.
Can you give us the in the air tonight, Phil? Because they're asking for it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Tyson being the true champ, drum tech. Like Dave not even respecting you enough to like move while you're trying to tune that drum. He's just like, getting into it. Dave's like,
I thought the point was to play while he was tuning it up.
Hey,
I love it.
Hey, so Tyson,
Yeah,
is
but-
there any difference between the lug inserts and the lugs and how much tension they can hold versus a traditional snare drum?
I don't think so within this brand.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the snare drum had the same casings, the same.
yeah, they are the same.
I don't know
Yeah?
because Jared gave the snare drum away for this kit on a live stream like 2 years ago.
We
so-
should give this kit away too.
I was saying we should auction. I mean, we went from what is this, like a $1,500, $1,200 kit?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Now to a $10,000
Oh,
kit.
it's worth. It's priceless.
It's priceless.
One of a
priceless.
kind now.
We should auction it off. And we should give the money to charity or something.
Sure. Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna hit the toms. Oh yeah.
I
Your
love
turn.
that.
Your
Oh,
turn,
I
man.
wasn't
Okay.
gonna hit it.
Your
I was just
turn.
gonna tweak it up. a bit.
Tyson,
Yeah, bud.
you got to go all the way with this. Take the mutes off too.
Take the mutes
Yeah.
off of everything.
Yeah, we got to find out what that does.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's gonna do, but it probably opens it up. That one's a lot of fun, actually.
It is.
I don't even want to take that one up. I just kind of like where it sits.
Yeah.
It really does sound like.
Like a big basketball, no wire.
Yeah.
That very thin head on the bottom, the actual snare side head, just
Yeah.
kind of rumbles and rattles.
Joe Flink in the YouTube chat says, please put one of those mutes on the snare, please.
I'm with you, Joe.
I like that we can call it a snare today.
The snares.
Is that better?
Yeah.
That kick drum is a little bit less snicky than I wanted it to be. We wanted to call it a snick drum. We got snare drums and snom drums, and that's a snick drum.
It could be a snick drum or a snace drum. We weren't sure which to
Maybe
go
a
with.
snace drum, but I don't know. Snick sounded better than snace.
I don't know, guys. I think this is a runaway success.
Cal, you got to go on there now.
I'm hardwired. I can't.
You can't?
I can't. No.
Okay.
I'm just going to admire from a distance.
It is super cool. Would I do that to my own kit? Probably not.
We can do it to your silver Yamaha Maple Custom Absolute that Jared sold you for too much money.
Why do you have to say it like that?
Yeah, as long as
That's usually where Dave leads from on that drum kit,
Never.
actually.
I got
Oh,
a good
you're
deal.
still better.
No,
20
I got a good
years
deal.
later.
I got a good deal. You got a good deal. Everyone left.
You
happy.
are so
Okay.
upset because I sold it for way more to you than I bought it for.
Well, yeah, because I thought you were my friend. But I
gave you a
realized
good deal.
it was a good deal. I'm not bitter. See this face? I'm not bitter at all.
I can totally see though. This would be a blast on a gig.
Yeah.
And I would probably alternate between the floor tom and the 12 as to which one I had the wires off.
Yep. But the 10 would just stay on all the
Yeah,
time,
it
right?
would.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is do you think it modified the sound of the tom enough that you can hear the difference? Because if not, it's
No.
a sleeper, right?
That's the important thing too. Is even by carving those snare beds into the drums, this goes back to a lot of those bearing edge theories.
Yeah.
Right. You've removed, in effect, the bearing edge for 2 inches on each side of
That's
that
right.
drum. And if we put a regular bottom head on there and didn't make it sound like a snare, it would sound like a tom.
I think it would.
Completely like a tom.
right.
You know, right now the byproduct is you've got a resonant head on the bottom, which is a little bit thinner, so it doesn't have that same kind of thing. That's in the 16 is that really big fat wow to
Wow
it.
going on,
But
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
The thing I will say though, and we can't test here today, we should do this in actual practice. We got to take this to a gig and see how much sympathetic snare buzz gets.
Yeah.
Because if a band playing, it probably sounds
You just need a bass player with an amp.
terrible.
Yeah, right?
Just
It
play us a
probably is
note.
unplayable like this.
But okay, so there's that. Is it the Zico's drum? Not the Zico's. There's a drum that has different sizes of snare drums inside of it.
Zick it.
The one that
Zick
pops,
it.
pops
Zick it.
up a
Is
guitar.
Zick it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sidekick.
really cool drum
Yeah.
because you can have different sizes of drum with one turn.
That's right.
What's cool about this is you can have a 10-inch snare for the song you need it, and just you now are missing a 10-inch tom.
Right.
You can have a 12-inch snare for the time you need it, but you have essentially 4 snare drums and 3 toms if you need that.
Yeah.
Okay, we actually have
cool.
an auction going on.
I noticed.
We're at 360, 425 Link Master, 425. Do I hear 450? Come on, 450.
Are we gonna auction it off this one? You got to pay shipping, and we can put all the money to charity.
Yeah. I think
But I
that's
mean,
good.
Maybe we should do an official thing.
The
This seems
puns are
kinda
pretty
like-
good though.
Yeah, we should maybe do this official somewhere because someone's gonna get a good. Well, it's 475 Link Master.
Link Master's in.
There's some
Andrew
good-
Scott
Love you,
is
Aaron.
at 450. Snare-rific.
There's and Aaron Edgar, of course, snareable.
Yeah.
It's snareable, yeah.
Of course, Aaron would say that.
500.
500. Oh,
Kristen
Link,
T.
Link Master's out. Come on, the shells alone are worth over 1,000. All right, let's. The next thing we need to do is we need to put snare wires on the cymbals, Tyson.
That's been in the conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think we talked about it. We're sort of like, that might be a bit of a one-trick pony.
Isn't
I
it
don't
just
know.
like one of
Sizzler.
those
Like a
stitching
beaded
rings
chain,
that-
like a
yeah,
maybe-
yeah.
Maybe we have to figure out how to put a throw off on this. Something to connect it.
Yeah, you have to have a throw. It's got to be.
I
a
love
jet.
the
It's like a
ideas
thing that
there.
goes kaboosh.
I love the idea. Well, is there not? Is it Cherry Hill drums? He
Okay,
makes.
hold on. We're at $6.99, guys.
Oh my goodness. Osho.
Osho, $6.99.
Oh, and Osho, make it easy on us. He's local. He can come pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you got the best deal right now, Osho.
Yeah, I think it's Cherry Hill Drums makes a
Andrew Scott, $1,000 if you throw in the cymbals.
sizzler that's
Yeah,
on a
no.
tilter like this.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it like stands up, and then when you want the sizzles, you just drop it down, and then the sizzles sit there, and then you lift it away. So it's kind of
so
like its
funny.
own little throw off.
Yeah.
You know, all joking aside, I made the joke before we were live. I'm like, you know, we were too busy asking ourselves if we could. We never asked ourselves if we should. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah.
Now there's something here.
Yeah, I agree.
There's something here. I loved being able to just pop your 10-inch. Now
Pardon?
you got a snare.
What? Oh, okay.
You're dreaming, Dave.
Come on, guys. Come on. But you know what I mean.
It's got to be one good zinger every time.
Every episode.
It's good.
But there is something there. I mean, the bass drum, I think we could probably do
You could-
something.
Yeah, I knew it needed some stuffing. I might have put a little too much stuffing in it, honestly.
Right.
So I have two last things on this. So number one, if you could do anything further or different, what would you do?
Good question.
That is a good question. I would honestly maybe go a little bit deeper with the snare beds. I know I was just kind of doing them by hand and getting through it. I would probably go a little deeper, maybe even a little wider with
Sounds
them.
pretty good the way
But it sounds pretty good the way it is. Maybe match up the heads a little more.
Okay.
Right now, those toms all have a different head on them.
Oh, yeah?
That's no, the 12 and the 16 both have UV2s, but we have a G14 coated on the 10.
Those are nitpicky.
Those are
things, though.
nitpicky little
The
things.
bass drum, I think we could have.
The bass drum, I would spend more time trying to dial
The one
that
thing
in.
we knew we couldn't solve in the bass drum was when you turn the wires off in the bass drum, how to keep them from resting against the drum head because the drum has to sit this way.
Yeah.
So we could have got super creative and flipped the drum upside down or something, but we wanted to look like a drum set. So
Right.
I think that was an acceptable amount of gamble on that.
Yeah.
Now the other question that I've seen in the chat, you know, there's the whole thing about defacing a drum set.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's improved.
It's well, it's
It's an
certainly
improvement.
it
Right?
certainly does
invested
something
in
that it
this.
can't do.
It's a modification.
Yeah.
It's an upgrade. It's an
It'll
upgrade.
still do what it did.
Yeah.
Of course.
Now it
that's-
does other things.
It's, yeah.
We could
it's
throw
great.
blood at it again if we wanted.
We could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many possibilities.
Okay, but we should do something. We should auction this off or do something
Okay.
like that. We'll figure it out. It might
We'll
not
make
be on
something
this
official.
episode.
Yeah, we'll have to do it properly.
We know we can at least get $6.99 from Osho.
it's true.
But this is one of one, all right?
Yes.
There's not, you can't go to your
Dave's
Long
still
McQuaid.
selling.
You can't go to your guitar center. I'm selling something. We're auctioning for charity.
Sweetwater doesn't have one.
Yeah.
No.
No, they don't. Not yet. Maybe we have to market them. We could market the strum set.
Snurm straight.
Leave us
Snurm
a comment below about the next ridiculous thing we should do. Maybe we keep this kit and do
Boy,
another
that's
mod.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we keep modding this specific kit. And
That's a
then
good idea.
What can we add to it next?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Sweet.
Turn the drums into cymbals.
Turn the drums and hazes.
That turned my head a little bit.
All right. That's
don't know
dumb
how.
enough.
Where's the patent lawyer from Musora, says Andrew Scott.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, well, it's on video. It's dated. We're the first.
Documented. Boom. All right, let's move right along. Thanks, guys, for doing that. Tyson, thanks for taking the time.
That
Yeah,
was,
buddy.
That was a lot of fun. I want to
Yeah.
make some more videos like that. So,
Build whatever this thing is.
yeah, it was your idea. You know what? We've done this and been the first ones, but I just got to throw out to my college roommate Phil, who lives in Australia. He has a Thai Go kit, and he actually did this to his Thai Go kit, all the 10, 12, 14,
nice.
and the 18-inch bass drum. He did this probably close to 10 years ago. Anyways, I was just throwing that out to you, Philly.
Massive shout out also to Jesus, who did the video. He filmed it and edited it as well. Came out fantastic. Great work, Jesus. All right, let's get to. I'm going to press the button. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Groove of the Week.
Even that was late, Kyle.
Function.
Yeah. It's kind of the story of my life, Dave. This week's group of the week is Enrique. I'm going to get this right. Enrique Nativatas. Check him out. My favorite thing in that clip is the audience at the end, they're like, they're just like, whoa.
Who found this? Who found this clip? Was that someone
this was
submitted
sent
it?
in to us, yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's part of a, Enrique is a ton of great clips. This is just one from a performance that he had recently. And this was just sort of the one where he's chopping out at the end the most, but he's a really great, versatile player, all kinds of cool stuff, and not a lot of followers. So you can go find him on Instagram at Enrique Nativatas, that's it, on Instagram. There you
I'm
go.
gonna follow him right
All
now.
one word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tons of great stuff happening with him. All right. Right into that, we're going to go into, make sure to press the right button. There it is. New gear. So today, guys, we have a drum set to demonstrate these new drumsticks. So Meinl, you guys heard of Meinl? This logo confused me for many years. So we can, let me put that right there. Now that's an M. I thought it was two A's. Because I'm stupid.
You thought that was two
it's an
A's?
M, yeah, like AA.
But their business name is Meinl.
I know.
And
It
it has
literally
no
starts
A's
with
in
an
it.
M.
That's why I was confused, Jared. Thank you very much.
I thought it was an R and an M.
You worked.
Roland
anyway.
Meinl, right?
Most importantly, from our friends at Meinl, which I now know as an M, this is a new product from them. This is from their new brand they have. It's called the Meinl Stick and Brush Company. So they're now making their own drumsticks. Yeah. I'm gonna give you a pair of
Burnaby
these.
99 says, it's okay, Kyle. Letters are hard.
Yeah, English is difficult. A lot of stuff.
Here, toss me a set of those too.
So these are interesting in the fact that they're made in Germany. You don't see a lot of German-made drumsticks. These are made from North American hickory, which is real common for drumsticks. A lot of the sticks they offer right now are signature models. Here today, we have the Calvin Rogers and the Luke Holland.
This is the Luke Holland.
Calvin Rogers are the ones with the little tiny little round tips, and the Luke Hollands are those beefy ones that Dave has and Tyson has. So Jared and I have the Calvin Rogers.
So these are hickory, yes. American hickory,
Yeah.
made in Germany. Weight and pitch match. They feel front forward.
Yeah, they definitely do. They're a very well-made drumstick from what I can tell. And I know you're wondering, like, how do you... drumsticks are drumsticks. Well, that's kind of true and it's kind of not true. The thing that's important about drumsticks is how consistent are they? How do they feel? And clearly Meinl's done their homework with these. They've got a bunch of their cymbal and percussion artists playing these sticks. And these are folks that definitely know the difference between good and bad drumsticks. And it's great to see another manufacturer out there making sticks. I love the fact they're made in Europe. Like I say, we don't see that very often. Drumsticks are mostly made in the US or in some cases, China. We know though that the wood that they use for the American hickory and the American maple are great for drumsticks. So that's what we have here. But a really cool new thing. Next time you're buying sticks, you're looking for something different to try, check out the Meinl Stick and Brush sticks. They sell for about the same price as any other drumstick. That's actually quite interesting to me because they're coming out of Europe. But you can buy them in the US for about $15 a pair, which is pretty accurate.
Meinl is so smart with their manufacturing process and so refined. I'm sure they've found a way to make it all work.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I didn't even know Meinl made sticks. So that's very
It's very
neat.
recent. They just recently started doing it. Yeah.
And it's called the Stick and Brush Company.
Yes.
So I'd imagine they do brushes
They
as well.
do, and ironically, they only sent us sticks to show off.
Oh, no.
Maybe they're not proud of their brushes.
Maybe
they're so proud of the brushes we didn't deserve to get them.
Yeah,
That's possible.
That could be it too. So we're going to give all 4 pairs to one.
We're gonna give all 4 pairs away to someone in our members area.
Okay.
Let's see. Jared, can you pick a number between 1 and 7, please?
Well, who had the highest bid?
6.
6. Okay.
6. Oh, there we go. Perfect. These sticks are gonna go to Raki and Jicky. Hope I got that right. Raki and Jicky in the members area. Email me at krad@drumeo.com. Send me your address. We're going to send these awesome Meinl Stick and Brush drumsticks to you. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Now, we do have one more giveaway to do today. Actually, we have a couple. So, about a month ago, we did an episode on the future of electronic drums. We asked everybody to go to that video and comment how they might use the Evans hybrid sensory percussion setup. Yeah, so today's the day where we announce the winner of that contest. So what we did was there was about 250 comments there, or something like that. we were able to choose a winner at random in that list, and we have a winner.
And this isn't a cheap giveaway.
No, this is a $1,500
$1,500 US
Yeah.
prize.
They get a full sensory percussion setup, which includes the module, the software, and 4 of the triggers.
Now, do they have to be watching live?
They do not.
Okay.
No, we've contacted them via however you contact people these days.
How
for
did people
doing that.
join?
They had just had to comment on the video.
Oh,
Yeah.
like in our
On YouTube.
On the YouTube channel.
on YouTube. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Mitsukama 9495. You are the lucky winner. We have just recently contacted you for this, but you're
Yeah.
going to get one of those cool sensory percussion setups.
Do you remember what his comment was?
I absolutely do. So Mitsukama talked about how he loved the way that this had a whole new way because it has some really cool layering functions and abilities to do kind of melodic randomizing with the sound choices. You can do all kinds of really cool stuff with it. Dave didn't really like it, but that's okay. Lots of folks did.
Just throws me under the
It's
bus.
true. It's true.
I won't share your opinion of it.
Oh dear.
No, I said I won't. You're good. You're good. It's all good.
But no, Matsukama said very clearly that, was really looking for something to connect more to doing that kind of melodic drumming in that sort of style where he could fuse playing drum set and have melodic options under his hands. And so he said, yep, I would run a setup where I'm running the triggers and an acoustic set, a literal hybrid setup. So a bit of both.
Do a lot of people use that where they will turn it off and on with like a foot switch or something?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's probably a super effective way to do it. The thing with that new setup is I think it probably works best when you're using it with the mesh heads because you can really explore, because you can map out the whole head and have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 different zones.
Yeah.
So it really, that way you're not taking away from the fact it maybe makes a tom sound as well. You can just play a melody. So I could totally see having 2 drums with mesh heads that have the triggers and the rest of the kit's acoustic. So it's literally, we kind of did the same thing with the snare drums. It's like 2 drums could be snare drums, 2 drums could be tom-toms.
Yeah.
So that's just taking it to a whole other level. So congratulations to Mitsukama 9495 on winning that awesome prize. And I'd like to give away one more prize today. We have this from Evans because they sent it to us, and I thought it'd be awesome. Very fitting for today's episode. We're going to give this away to some... There we go. That's perfect right there. So we're going to give this away to someone...
Oh, hold on. Viewership just jumped.
No kidding. I'm in no way surprised.
Viewership just jumped.
Thanks,
It's
everybody.
like they knew. Wait, Kyle's gone. And
I'll take that. This is a really awesome, this is a snare drum tune-up kit available from Evans. It includes top head, bottom head, snare wires, all the little doodads you need to clean your drum. It's got the lug lubrication. It's got lug lubrication. It's got instructions on how to set your snare drum up.
Set of the Evans new EQ pods,
Little
their
EQ
damper,
pods,
their
yeah,
little
yeah.
damper, like moon gels.
This is actually, even though it looks like a little drum head box, this is worth about $120.
$120. Yeah.
Pretty cool. So let's give that away to someone on YouTube. Let's see. YouTube chat's just running away as it likes to do. Let's go. You want to pick someone, Tyson?
I do. Let's see.
I'm going to scroll at random and you can just pick something.
Cole's Towing.
Cole's Towing.
You figured we'd do like a drum roll as we do all this because we have so many snares.
So logical, isn't it?
We could do 4 separate drum rolls on 4 separate snare drums right now.
Carl's towing.
Cole's Towing.
Cole's-
Carl's Towing. So Carl's Towing, if you're out there, sorry, you didn't win.
No, it's Cole's
Cole,
Towing.
though,
Cole's Towing.
Cole and your towing company have won this
Congratulations,
awesome
man.
Evans snare drum tune-up kit. Please email me at krad@drumeo.com with your mailing address, and we'll get that sent off to you right away. We've given away a bunch of stuff. That was cool. We made a really cool drum set today.
Yeah,
It was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Thanks everyone for joining and watching. And yeah, let us know in the comments what we should do next because there's probably some great ideas out there and we're dumb enough to try them.
We are.
Or sorry, Tyson is dumb enough to try 'em.
We're dumb enough. We're dumb enough to put it into a script and then ask Dear Tyson to see if he'll do
I
it.
do as I'm told. So if you throw the stupid ideas, and sometimes you even saw as I was building it in the video, I was like, I don't know about this, guys, but it was a
out.
lot of fun. It worked out. So yeah, thanks again.
Well, this is a really fun episode to make. I'm so glad you guys got to see it. I think a lot of you enjoyed it. And if you did, let us know. If you didn't, well, we tried. next week we got a really fun episode planned. We're going to do an episode where we're going to find out if you can identify your favorite drummers only by hearing them.
Oh,
Yeah, I love that.
Just drums, right?
Just
No,
drums.
It's gonna be awesome.
We are going to leave you, though, with our student of the week. I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Slick.
You guys are in for a real treat on the way out here today. Our student of the week is Obi-Wan. You guys know
I know
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. Awesome.
He is playing drums, but he's also learning how to play piano. He's learning how to sing. And this is him performing all by himself the song Somewhere Only We Know by Keen. Everybody, have yourselves a great week. We'll see you again next time on the Drum Department. Those of you in the members area, we're going to come right back, answer your questions. Congratulations to Obi-Wan, student of the week. Bye-bye for now.
So tell me when you gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin.